Hey everybody, it's TJR. It's Olympic season, and the Winter Olympics have gotten me thinking a lot about being a musician. This is because most things get me thinking about being a musician. Over the weekend, I was watching the opening ceremonies with a friend, and she commented how much she admires the snowboarding team. Or I should say the snowboarding teams, I should say. She admires how competitive they are, yet how sportsmanlike they are. She appreciates the fact that even though they compete fiercely with each other, they're very supportive of each other. Now, I don't follow this that closely. These are her observations, not mine. I am taking her observations as fact because she knows more about this than me. At any rate, she's just talking about how very supportive they are of each other, the different competing teams. And she then made a contrast to other teams from the other sports, perhaps like ice skating and some of the others, where she feels like if someone falls on a competing team or has an accident, that the first thing they'll be thinking is, oh, good, now I have a better chance of winning. I mean, they will show concern on camera, of course, and be polite, but deep down inside, they're glad that that something happened. Once again, these are her opinions, not mine. But she doesn't get that from the snowboarding team. She feels that they, if someone hurts themselves or falls or whatever, has an accident, that they do care about each other. And now, whether or not you think this is true or not is not what I am here to talk about today. This got me thinking about sportsmanship for musicians. I can remember a long time ago, during my early days, working in a band, playing in a band, I should say. There was this one musician who really thought it was a good idea to do everything you could to F up another band's performance if they were on the bill with you, so that you could look better. And I just remember very early on thinking, well, yeah, this guy's a jackass. Stop working with this person. You don't want to be associated with someone like this if they think this way. Years later, I would form my own group. And I told my bandmates the following. I said, if we're waiting to go on, there's another band up on stage ahead of us. They're having a hard time. Maybe hardly anyone came out to see them. No one's really paying attention to them. No one's applauding between their sets. Then show them some support. Applaud loudly. Get the rest of the people going that are there. Get them kind of going. Sometimes people won't applaud if they don't see anyone else applauding. Nobody wants to be the first one. So just get that going for them. Show some support for them. If someone in another band needs something and you can help them. Batteries, 9-volt batteries on foot pedals for guitarists. That's always a thing. I always carry extra 9-volt batteries because you never know when one might give out. And help another, guitarist out if you can. If you have a battery and you can spare it and they need it, give it to them. Help them out. And this has happened a couple times at live gigs where someone was relying on battery power for their pedals and their guitar pedals, and it gave out, and they're like, oh, shoot, the pedal's not working. If I had an extra battery and I could spare it, great. I'd run up there and say, hey, man, here's a battery, I remember one time a guitarist, he just looked at me like, I can't believe you're helping me. I can't believe anybody would help. Like a fellow musician would help another fellow musician. It's like, why not? If someone breaks a string and they're out of strings and you have extra strings, give them a string. And I would tell my fellow bandmates, show support for your fellow musicians when you're at a gig. Because sometimes, you have a couple bands in a night, show it. Help them out. Don't worry about whether or not they would help you. Just do it. And then I would say, however, though, once we get on stage, all bets are off. Once we are on stage, our job is to completely blow away everybody else, blow away every other band. That is your job. Once you're off stage, go back to showing your support for your fellow musicians in the other bands. I can remember back in the 70s, there was a lot of competitiveness between bands, and I think that's good. I think this creates stronger bands, stronger musicians, and can create better songs. And there was just this real competitiveness to try to blow the other bands away. Once again, I think that's a great thing. But I also think that that competitiveness created a really negative environment where musicians didn't support each other. They didn't try to help each other out. But I think that people are more likely to help you if you help them. And especially if you do it first. Yes, there will always be those who take and don't give back. I think karma gets them eventually. Now, that was then, this is now. I do sense that musicians are now more supportive of each other than they've ever been in the past. But I don't think we compete as much as we should. I've always been a strong believer in competition. I believe you can have that competition, but that you don't have to become an a-hole to do it. You can still be supportive of your fellow musicians in competing bands. You can help each other out, you know, and I see that more and more now where musicians help each other at gigs and help each other get gigs, and there is more of that camaraderie. I think that's great. But I think when you get on stage, you've really got to do everything you can to win, you know, to be the band that blows everybody out of the water. And there's nothing wrong with that attitude. You know, everybody should be trying to do that. And when you see a band that's so good, or a musician that is so good, and they blow you out of the water, then you should applaud them. Man, you blew us out of the water, man. But you know what? We're going to go rehearse, and we're going to get better, and we're going to try to blow you out of the water the next time. That's what I'm talking about. Competition and support. And I think I just, watching the Olympics over the weekend and talking about the Olympics got me thinking about this. And it's just something I wanted to share. And if you're a musician, I hope you will think about this more. And maybe you're already showing support for your fellow musicians, but also be competitive. You know, really try to, when it's your turn to perform, try to blow everybody else away. Do everything you can. Think about that as you prepare for your performances. What can I do that can blow everybody away? And I think that's going to create better music and a better music scene. That's all for now, everybody. Let me know what you think of that. As always, please subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, be sure to click notifications so you can know when I make new videos. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye.